Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something that's on everyone's mind, generative AI. Specifically, how we can turn it from just a cool toy into a seriously effective, professional research assistant. We're going to break down how you can get the kind of results you actually need for real academic work.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Gen AI has this massive, massive potential, right? But it's also a total double-edged sword, especially if you're a researcher. And getting a handle on both sides of that sword, well, that's really step one to using it the right way. I mean, the promise here is just incredible. You've got AI applications popping up literally everywhere, in almost any field you can think of. They're not just writing text anymore, they're generating code, images, even 3D models. The potential to speed up our work and unlock brand new ideas it's huge. But, and this is a big but, here's the other side of that sword. What you're looking at on this slide, this is a real, peer-reviewed paper. And if you look closely at the introduction, it starts with, certainly, here is, which is a dead giveaway that it was just copied and pasted from a chatbot. This is exactly what happens when these tools are used irresponsibly. It's not just a funny mistake, it leads to serious errors that can totally tank your academic integrity. So, that brings us to the big question, right? How do we tap into all this amazing power without falling into these massive and, frankly, embarrassing pitfalls? Well, the secret, it turns out, is all about how you talk to the AI. The real key here is to stop treating it like Google. It's not a search engine. You need to start thinking of it as a very powerful, very capable, but also very junior research assistant. And just like any junior assistant, it needs super clear professional instructions to give you good work. And that all starts with having a structured process. This isn't about just firing off a random question and hoping for the best. No, it's about really thinking through what you want. You have to define your goal, break down the big task into smaller chunks, give it some context, give it some examples, and then you have to iterate and refine your approach. Honestly, following these 6 steps is the foundation for getting high-quality results pretty much every time.
And look, this slide just shows you the night and day difference between a bad prompt and a good one. The bad prompt, write something about the economy. What are you going to get back? Something so generic, it's completely useless. But the good prompt, now that's different. It's specific. It defines the topic, the scope, the exact points to focus on. See? That kind of specificity is what gets you a professional result. So here's the takeaway. You've got to start thinking like an engineer. Before you hit send on that prompt, just run it through a quick mental checklist like this one. Is it specific enough? Is it clear? Does it have context? Is it actually actionable? Taking that extra 30 seconds ensures your instructions are sharp and will actually lead to insights you can use. Okay, so once you've got the basics down, you're ready to level up. We can make our interactions way more sophisticated by using what are called prompt design patterns. Think of these as established frameworks that give you much, much finer control over the AI. So instead of just asking simple questions, you can use these patterns for all kinds of things. There are patterns to customize exactly how you want the output to look, patterns that help the AI spot its own mistakes, and even patterns that completely change the way you go back and forth with it. For example, one of the most popular and useful ones is called the persona pattern. This is so cool. You're not just asking a question, you're telling the AI who to be. You could say, act as a skeptical peer reviewer and critique this abstract, or you're a helpful librarian, find me sources on this topic. It completely changes the tone, style, and focus of the response. And here's another powerful one, the reflection pattern. This is brilliant. After the AI gives you an answer, you turn around and ask it to critique its own work. You could say something like, please review the response you just gave me. Are there any parts that might be inaccurate or need more evidence? It's a surprisingly effective way to boost the accuracy of what you're getting. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter how advanced your prompts get. It doesn't matter what fancy patterns you use. There is one golden rule, one non-negotiable rule that every single researcher has to live by. It's simple, but it's absolutely 100% critical for maintaining academic rigor and honestly, for protecting your own credibility. And that rule is validate, validate, and validate. You have to remember this. The AI is your assistant. It is not the principal investigator. You, the human, the researcher, are always, always responsible for the final output. So what does that actually mean? It means you have to go and verify the AI's claims. You have to check its sources, if it even gives you real ones.
And most importantly, you have to apply your own expertise, your own knowledge of the field to everything it produces. Think of it this way. The AI gives you a first draft, a starting point, but you provide the final expert sign-off. All right, so how does all of this theory actually come together in a real-world task? Let's take these prompting skills and apply them directly to something we all have to do, building a research proposal. So have a look here. On the left, you've got the standard pieces of any research proposal. On the right, a framework for seeing if your research topic is even a good idea. The great news is your new AI prompting skills can help with pretty much every single part of this. For instance, let's say you get to the literature review, which can be a total slog. You can use that persona pattern we talked about. You could prompt the AI with something like, acting as an expert in quantum computing, please summarize the 5 most groundbreaking studies on quantum decoherence published in the last 3 years. Boom, instant starting point. Or maybe you're struggling to nail down your problem statement. You can use another pattern, like question refinement. You feed it your draft research question and ask the AI, can you suggest 3 ways to make this question more specific, focused, and impactful? It can help you make sure you're really addressing a genuine gap in the field. So when you boil it all down, generative AI is this incredibly powerful tool. But like any tool, its real value depends entirely on the skill of the person using it. So think of it this way. The AI is your brand new research assistant. The only question left is, are you ready to be a good manager?